Hello, fans and friends. Welcome to AstroKara. As a therapeutic astrologer and mindset coach, I'm here to show you how the archetypes of evolutionary astrology can guide you into real transformation. In this video, we're going to explore the evolutionary purpose of Pluto in the first house and how to work with this placement. Pluto represents the unconscious desires of our soul that shapes our lives, brings us to and through challenging experiences, and pulls us to our growth edge. I encourage you to go back and listen to the Pluto intro video if you haven't already, to give you a foundation of how Pluto functions. I'll link it in the description. When Pluto is in the first house, the house of instinct and initiation, the soul's evolutionary intention is to discover and redefine who you truly are. This placement carries intensity because the soul is pushing for freedom to exist authentically beyond conditioning. The first house is all about new beginnings. It's like the moment that a seed sprouts and pushes up through the soil. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't check to see if the other plants around are ready. It just grows. If you've ever felt like your identity is constantly shifting, or that there's a deep inner drive pushing you to reinvent yourself over and over, you are tapping into feeling Pluto in the first house at work. Pluto here intensifies this instinct. Souls with Pluto in the first house often feel a powerful drive to be and to express themselves. There is a restlessness and even a repulsion against other people's definitions, labels, and expectations. There's a consistent drive to act, to move, and to experiment with their identity. Because the first house is raw, instinctual, and reactive, Pluto here can magnify fears. And these fears can distort the full expression of the evolutionary intent. These fears can include being controlled or absorbed by others, fear of losing individuality in relationships, even a fear of being invisible if you don't assert yourself. And what does it mean to be assertive versus aggressive? Think of a young child who constantly says, "No, I'll do it myself." That's the energy here. Independence as survival. Your soul has an instinctual memory, and you have probably experienced this, especially in your early life. Times of being controlled or silenced. And in this lifetime, your soul is fiercely protective of its freedom. With Pluto in the first house, the evolutionary intention is self-discovery through action and feedback. You learn who you are by doing, by trying, failing, changing, and evolving. This lifetime isn't about sitting on the sidelines, waiting until you figured it all out. It's about jumping in, experiencing, and then redefining yourself again and again. Evolutionary astrology focuses on the importance of polarity point. For Pluto in the first house, the polarity is the seventh, the house of relationships. This means that even as your soul is focused on independence, it must grow through encounters with others, a feedback loop. And here's the paradox. You are here to fiercely claim your individuality, and you are here to learn about yourself through partnership. First house Pluto souls can often experience relationships in one of three ways, but I've found that it's often more a mixture of all. There's a subconscious drive to be the dominant partner, to be in control of situations, and always having the option to leave first. There can be a subconscious drive to be dominated. This lack of control and powerlessness ensures your soul will push back and subsequently fight for its freedom. And then there's a drive to seek out relationships where cooperation and equality are present. You may have experienced people, particularly partners, who mirror back to you your defensiveness or avoidance or this fear of being controlled. But you may also have experienced people who have revealed to you hidden aspects of your identity that you wouldn't have discovered on your own. Your life is like a dance. You step forward as yourself, then you meet someone who says, "I see you a little differently." That reflection helps you take a step back and refine your self-image. You have the final say in what you keep and what you discard. It's important to not get taken over by what others think and say, but it's also just as important to consider trusted advice. The ultimate intention is balance, a self that is authentic and strong, understanding its own needs, yet flexible enough to engage in deep, meaningful relationships that are based on cooperation and collaboration. It is important to recognize that the need to be independent and alone can be balanced with the need to be in relationship. This back and forth energy of independence and interdependence is cyclical and often unpredictable. Rather than berate yourself over why you can't seem to hold on to relationships, understand that this is a part of your natural way of discovering who you are. And seek out partnerships with people who are open to and responsive to these cyclical needs. You may find yourself in relationship and start to feel that pressure and a little bit of that tightness of, "I'm losing myself," and feel the need to withdraw. Honor that. And after you've had time to reflect and be with yourself, you may feel the need to connect again. Honor that. That is your cycle. So how do you work with Pluto in the first house in practical, everyday ways? Here's a few things on how I would encourage a coaching client. Number 1, honor your instincts, but stay curious. Imagine you feel an impulse to start a new project, move to a new city, or completely change up your style. With Pluto here, those instincts are important. They're guiding you towards self-discovery. But pause, reflect, and ask yourself, am I acting from fear or from freedom? Awareness is the difference between reaction and evolution. Number 2, allow your identity to evolve. Think of yourself like a snake shedding its skin. You're not meant to stay the same. Every few years, you may feel the drive to completely reinvent yourself. This is not a failure. This is your soul's way of growing. Give yourself permission to be in the process of becoming. Number 3, face your fear of absorption. Many who have this placement push people away because they're afraid of losing themselves. It's a valid fear. Have you ever ended a relationship the moment someone asks for more closeness? Instead of retreating, try asking yourself, what boundaries do I need to stay whole and still connect? This transforms fear into empowerment and can lead you to the intimacy that you need. Number 4, use your relationships as mirrors. Remember the 7th house polarity. The kinds of people you attract, maybe those who are a little over controlling, maybe those who are a little overly dependent, are really mirrors of you. They show you what you're integrating. So ask yourself, what part of me is being reflected in them? And what is this relationship teaching me about myself? And this doesn't just apply to intimate relationships. This is family, friends, coworkers. And number 5, practice courageous authenticity. Sometimes being authentic feels really risky. What if people don't like who we really are? It's a valid concern. But every time you act from your true center, you strengthen your personal power and deepen your trust in yourself. Courage isn't about never being afraid. It's about being real anyway and trusting in yourself. Remind yourself that you don't have to ask for or wait for permission to show up in your life. In summary, Pluto in the first house is an intense and often challenging placement. It calls you to face your shadow, strip away the masks you've worn, and evolve beyond the weight of social expectations or the desires of others. This journey isn't always comfortable, but its evolutionary reward is profound. The power to shed old identities and rise into authentic selfhood, one that you forged through your radical self-empowerment, your inner strength, and your courage to embody your true essence. In this awakening, your soul becomes fully alive and capable of living its deepest truth. If this video resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more evolutionary astrology insights. This is a part of my series on Pluto through the houses, so if you want to explore the other placements, you can find the playlist linked in the description. And I'd really love to hear from you. If you have Pluto in the first house in your birth chart, or if you're experiencing a Pluto first house transit, share in the comments how these experiences have shaped your sense of self. Your story might help someone else who is navigating this powerful placement or transit. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care of you.